Okay, listen. When you get to heaven, what question do you want to ask God?
Well, when I was a kid, I was a question asker. I still am a question asker.
Yes,
I've
you are.
always been a question asker. And I think my parents were like, okay, we'll get this girl to stop asking questions. We're going to tell her, when you get to heaven, you can ask Jesus whatever you want. So I started a list of questions. Okay?
Really?
Yes. And the number one question on that list was, is Santa Claus real?
That was
My
good.
number one question, because my parents would never tell me, and I was like, I need to know. So that was my number one question. But as I've matured, that list has changed, obviously. And I've come up with questions that were are like those trick questions, and I feel like the Pharisees were always trying to trick Jesus, and I feel like a lot of those questions I have on that list could be categorized in that way. And I think when I get to heaven, those are going to fall right away. And I'm going to be so in awe that it's just going to be questions of how, why. It's all going to be about the depth of Jesus' love and God's love for me, and just how did you create the world, and how did you speak light into being? And I think that's what it's going to be all about.
I like that list.
I love that. I
What
love
do you
that.
have, Flo?
Dovetailing off of the end of her statement, 1 Corinthians 13 and 12 says that, we know in part, but then I will know even as I am known. So the truth of the matter is, when you get to heaven, you're not going to have any questions.
Right.
You're going to step into the wisdom and
Right.
knowledge and understanding of God. And so there won't be any questions to ask.
Right.
But I love the idea that I'll have that final opportunity, that thing that I've been pressing for, to just be in his presence and to just worship him and to stay and just be in awe of him.
Well,
I love that.
To my question asker,
Yes, I do have a question.
I bet you do.
And it's John 8:8. What did Jesus write in the sand
Okay.
when the woman was caught in adultery? And I've been asking that for many years. And just recently, I went to a Bible study that talked about, and I'm going to get this scripture right if I have it here, Jeremiah 17, that it says that if those who forsake me, their names will be written in the dust of the earth.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the true answer or not, but I've been asking it for
like that.
many years. I do have another one too. So the dust in the sand means we're better to be written in the Lamb's book of life instead of the dust of the earth that's going to perish. I had one more question, and I don't know if it's a good thing to say here on TV.
Go
Should
ahead.
I just
We
say
want
it?
to hear it.
You should just say it.
Since I was a kid, I love the stars, and we're going to have questions about that later. But I was like, okay, what's after the universe?
On the other side.
I used to think like that. Yeah.
Like, what's after the universe, God? Like, how is time not end? How does, and I know as Flo and Corey said, we're not going to have those questions anymore because they're going to get answered. But I remember on The Origins, a physicist was on that said, the universe is continually expanding. So, God gives us, like Flo said, a dim light or just a little answer that enlightens, but we're going to know completely.
And just so you know that Origins, what she referred to, is a show here on Cornerstone Television Network that is amazing.